Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into The Art of Gathering by Priya Parker, a thought-provoking exploration into the world of social assemblies. Parker's compelling narrative builds a case that most gatherings, from corporate conferences to casual dinner parties, often lack vigor and meaningful intention. She introduces a transformative blueprint that emphasizes uniqueness, clearly defined purposes, and the cultivation of authentic connections. This guide provides actionable insights for invigorating any type of group interaction. Priya Parker stands as more than just an author. She is a seasoned facilitator whose expertise spans across sectors, with corporate leaders, social activists, and educational theorists to scheming, impactful gatherings. Her background in conflict resolution has seen her active involvement in diplomatic undertakings within various regions, including the Middle East, Africa, and India. A dynamic contributor to the World Economic Forum's New Models of Leadership Council, Parker is also recognized for her inspiring TEDx talk on purpose, which has garnered over 1 million views. The Art of Gathering speaks to a diverse audience ranging from those who seek to host memorable, impactful events to individuals longing to foster genuine connections through their assemblies. So if you're craving to revolutionize your gatherings, from the boardroom to the dining room, stay tuned as we summarize Parker's innovative strategies that promise to transform the mundane into the extraordinary. The Art of Gathering: How We Meet and Why It Matters. Introduction. Craft meaningful gatherings that resonate and inspire. Imagine a world where every gathering you attend is brimming with purpose, connection, and a touch of magic. Whether it's the routine Monday morning meeting that suddenly sparks unexpected collaboration, or a casual dinner that transforms into a memorable evening of deep conversation. That's the promise of The Art of Gathering, which takes you beyond the superficial elements of events and steers you towards what truly matters, the heart and soul of coming together. Sure, we've all fallen victim to the mundane aspects of planning, choosing the right tablecloth or perfecting the meeting agenda. However, this book nudges us to dive deep, to ponder the profound reasons why we gather, and to consciously craft occasions that foster genuine connection. Ready to revolutionize your gatherings? Discover the secrets within these insights. The unexpected power of the guest list, strategically shaping who makes the cut. The subtle art of hosting that enhances enjoyment without handing over control. And the final flourish that can leave your guests with a lingering sense of wonder. With a thoughtful approach, your next gathering could be the one that everyone recalls with a smile, long after the last goodbyes are said. Part 1. Revamp your gatherings for deeper impact and fulfillment. Imagine every moment spent with others as a profound journey, an opportunity to connect, learn, and grow. Yet, in our everyday hustle, the true essence of our gatherings often becomes a missed opportunity. From family reunions to professional conferences, we're part of a pattern. We meet, we interact on a surface level, and we part ways, only to forget the event as quickly as it came. This cycle can leave us feeling hollow, questioning the value of these encounters altogether. Take the work environment, for example. It's a setting where meetings should thrive with collaborative energy, but instead, they're frequently the bane of productivity. Employees express their frustration with meetings that stall progress rather than propel it, while studies lay bare a collective dissatisfaction with how we spend our professional and personal gathering time. Yet, we seem to be stuck in an endless loop of uninspired assembly. We're caught up in the tangible details, the where, the what, and the how. But what about the why? What about the human element that transforms a commonplace assembly into an extraordinary gathering? It's not about the venue size, the number of attendees, or the prestige of the event. It isn't even about being the life of the party. It boils down to intentionality, an eagerness to craft an experience that resonates deeply with each participant. To lift our gatherings from the realms of obligatory attendance to experiences rich with meaning and connection, we need to shift our focus. It's about prioritizing the human element over the logistic hurdles. It's about understanding that each meeting, each celebration, each confluence of people holds the potential to be a transformative event. It's time to rethink gatherings, to peel back the layers of routine and inject them with substance. In doing so, we can reshape how we come together, finding satisfaction where once there was none. Keep listening. The blueprint for change is closer than you think. Part 2. Define your gathering's purpose to create meaningful and authentic encounters. Why do we gather the way we do? Think of the conventional scenes: office boardrooms hosting back-to-back meetings, auditoriums echoing with lectures, and ballrooms glittering with charity gala attendees. Each setting, each gathering, often unfolds as a rerun of what's been done before, a procession of traditional formats devoid of intentional purpose. Our adherence to these rituals, whether in professional settings, where emails might suffice over weekly meetings, or in our personal celebrations, rarely gets questioned. The momentum of "this is how it's always been" proves a powerful force to maintain the status quo. Yet, the real question shouldn't be about the mechanics of these gatherings but their deeper intent. This became clear to the author while planning her baby shower. The customary women-only affair didn't resonate with the joint transition she and her husband were undergoing to become parents. By recognizing that the traditional format didn't align with their joint purpose, they reshaped the gathering to be an inclusive celebration of their shared journey into parenthood. So before diving into the logistics of your next gathering, stop and ask yourself, why am I truly doing this? Maybe your upcoming birthday doesn't call for the usual fanfare, but instead, a moment to celebrate happiness with those closest to you, resulting in an intimate feast with a handful of friends instead of an all-inclusive bash. Or perhaps the essence of the occasion is to break away from the routine, in which case, an exhilarating bungee jump could eclipse the typical festivities. When you crystallize the purpose of your gathering, every subsequent decision, from the guest list to the venue, falls into place more naturally and meaningfully. It's this core purpose that can transform your gathering from a mere event into an experience that lodges itself in the hearts and memories of all who take part. Part 3. The art of selective invitation enhances the purpose of your gatherings. In a culture that often equates more with merrier, trimming your guest list might seem counterintuitive. However, embracing exclusion as a conscious choice can vastly reshape the nature and success of your gatherings. Take it from the author, who faced a dilemma with her workout squad. The group's dynamic was put to the test when a member proposed a substitute while on vacation. What appeared as a simple transactional issue, keeping a spot filled, edged into the group's deeper, unspoken mission to foster camaraderie through exercise. Introducing an outsider threatened this core intent, shifting the atmosphere from intimate and jovial to potentially awkward and reserved. This underscores a key aspect of gathering effectively. A willingness to say no is not just an act of exclusion, but a commitment to the gathering's integrity. It's a delicate dance between politeness and purpose, where sometimes protecting the latter means foregoing the former. However, it's important to differentiate this from being inhospitable. Rather, it's a calculated decision to honor the gathering's essence for the benefit of all involved. Beyond personal encounters, even communities can benefit from strategic exclusivity. Consider Judson Manor, a retirement home that ingeniously intertwines the lives of retirees with music students. This alliance celebrates intergenerational connections and shared passions. The community is selective, yet this strategy curates a diverse and enriching experience, one unlikely to have flourished with a more generic approach to residency. Being exclusive shouldn't be mistaken for being elitist or discriminatory. It's about curating an environment conducive to the gathering's purpose, even when that means making difficult decisions. In the next insight, we'll explore how this principle of exclusivity applies within the nuanced dance of hosting and participation. Part 4. Steer your gatherings with a confident yet caring hand for successful outcomes. In a world where laid back attitudes are often celebrated, taking charge during social events can seem heavy handed or impolite. It's tempting to adopt a passive role as a host, letting go of the reins and hoping for the best, trusting the event to run its course naturally. However, this hands off hosting can lead to subdued gatherings that lack direction and energy. Picture a housewarming party that has entered a post dinner lull, guests milling about uncertainly with dwindling enthusiasm. This scenario unfolded at a Brooklyn party the author attended, and despite her suggestion to revive spirits with a round of werewolf, the hosts hesitated, unwilling to direct their guests toward a prescribed activity. Consequently, the potential for a lively evening ebbed away as the party dissipated prematurely. Rather than succumbing to the allure of a chill facade, it's more productive to adopt what can be termed generous authority, leading with confidence, yet always prioritizing the benefit of the attendees. This means orchestrating your event assertively and thoughtfully, nurturing the atmosphere and flow in ways that serve the group's collective enjoyment and purpose. Consider an event focused on the grass-fed beef industry, where the author, in her role as facilitator, orchestrated a dynamic interaction by having the 120 stakeholders switch tables following every speech. Despite initial resistance and grumbles, it wasn't long before the guests recognized the value of this intervention, as they made unexpected connections and engaged in rich discussions beyond their usual circles. The illustrations show that when hosts take control, not for the sake of exerting power, but to enhance the collective experience, gatherings gain direction, cohesion, and vibrancy. It's a balance between leadership and altruism, empowering guests to derive the most from the occasion. Embracing your role as the architect of the event's structure can paradoxically free your guests to immerse themselves more fully in the experience. In our next insight, let's explore how establishing rules can further refine and elevate the gathering experience. Part 5. Embrace the freedom that comes with setting thoughtfully crafted rules at your gatherings. It's time to shift our perspective on rules. Far from being the shackles that confine us, well-designed rules can spark a unique sense of freedom and pave the way for ingenuity and deeper connections within our gatherings. Take the now dissolved Latitude Society, a secretive enclave in San Francisco, known for its exclusive, invitation-only events. The society crafted rules not to limit but to foster camaraderie, such as the playful dictate that attendees could not pour their own drinks. This subtle nudge encouraged interaction among strangers and eased the often awkward process of initiating conversation. Rules, when applied creatively, offer a much-needed deviation from our daily routines. This is especially crucial in an era when our attention is perpetually fragmented by technology. With the average person checking their phone 150 times a day, according to a Deloitte study, event hosts are faced with the challenge of keeping attendees genuinely engaged and present in the moment. The "I am here" days, an idea envisioned by the author and her husband, addressed this head-on. The event, centered around exploring different New York neighborhoods, set a no-technology rule as it expanded. The absence of digital distractions forced participants to immerse themselves fully in the experience, prompting them to connect more authentically with their surroundings and each other. Comedian Baratunde Thurston, a participant of these days, sees the omnipresence of smartphones as a portal to be anywhere but here. To choose consciously to do only one thing with a specific group, and to be truly present is becoming a profound act in our relentlessly connected world. In light of infinite choices, the deliberate focus that rules impose can be quite liberating. Rules that foster focus encourage us to relish the moment we're in and the people we're with. In the next insight, we'll see how the often overlooked aspect of endings can elevate the art of gathering to new heights. Part 6. Set the right tone from the start by preparing and welcoming your guests with intention. With the stage set for an unforgettable gathering, the focus now shifts to priming your guests and ensuring they feel truly appreciated from the moment they step in. The start of your event is your chance to imprint upon your guests the essence of what's to come, setting the tone for the entire occasion. The anticipation of a gathering can be as impactful as the event itself. Subtle yet strategic priming can gently shape expectations even before the event begins. This might be as uncomplicated as requesting a small contribution from your guests to get them thinking in the spirit of the event they're about to attend. Michel Leprise's request for happy photos prior to a celebratory gathering had his colleagues reminiscing about the year's joys, setting the stage for an evening filled with shared memories and joy. The welcome that guests receive can also powerfully influence the feel of an event. When hosting, consider how you can create a moment of acknowledgement, showcasing your guests' importance and making them feel genuinely esteemed. A professor, Sugata Roy Chaudhuri, left a lasting impression on his students by reciting their names from memory during their first interaction, an unforgettable gesture that pleasantly surprised and engaged everyone. As a host, nurturing a sense of honor and appreciation in your guests can begin with small touches that demonstrate thoughtfulness, like a beautifully set table for a seemingly casual lunch. It could also be through introductions that reveal a little more about each person than what a job title might encapsulate. It's these thoughtful personal touches that pave the way for an atmosphere of authenticity and warmth, setting a strong foundation for the gathering ahead. As we look toward maintaining this authentic environment, we'll explore how to foster genuine connections and a sense of real engagement among your guests. Part 7. Create a space for authenticity in your gatherings to foster genuine connection. In a world where surface interactions are the norm and social media reigns with carefully curated personas, fostering true authenticity can seem like a formidable challenge. Whether it's at business gatherings or social events, we often default to projecting only the highlights of our lives and careers. As a result, we miss out on the rich tapestry of genuine human connections. But it doesn't have to be this way. With thoughtful design, you can flip the script at your gatherings and encourage a level of honest sharing that's rare and refreshing. When the author was tasked with facilitating a dinner for an elite group at the World Economic Forum, she saw an opportunity to eschew superficiality in favor of meaningful dialogue. With a chosen theme of the good life, she set the expectation that each attendee would share a personal story related to this concept. The requirement to begin their toast with an anecdote paved a path away from professional posturing and towards genuine emotion and vulnerability. The impact was palpable. Conversations laced with raw honesty and emotion unfurled, allowing a group accustomed to hiding behind resumes to instead connect on a heartfelt level. Revealed were life lessons whispered by a dying mother, daily reflections on mortality, and the profound impact of family rituals. Through the sharing of personal journeys, the atmosphere was transformed into one of palpable authenticity. So how can you invite this level of openness into your own gatherings? First, encourage the sharing of stories. Stories inherently involve struggles, feelings, and the naked truth, providing an organic antidote to superficial discussion. Secondly, lead by example. When the author shared an intimate coming-of-age story, her vulnerability acted as a beacon, guiding others to reveal their true selves in a similar manner. Authenticity starts with the host. If you want your guests to delve beyond the facade, you must first traverse that path yourself, setting a precedent for others to follow. Through such honesty, your gatherings can become transformative experiences that leave an indelible impression of real human connection. Part 8. Make your gatherings memorable by crafting impactful conclusions. Just as an actor's final bow commands as much importance as their debut, the conclusion of your gatherings holds the power to leave a lasting impression. A meaningful and well-crafted ending can transmute an ordinary event into a poignant memory. However, all too often, events wane into obscurity rather than concluding with definitive purpose. Imagine the universal scene in watering holes across the globe when last call is announced. This isn't just a signal for a final drink, it's a cue that brings clarity to the evening's end. Attendees begin to wrap up conversations, finalizing their social transactions in preparation for departure. This deliberate approach to ending can be a valuable strategy to employ beyond the bar scenario, even within the comfort of your own home. Picture the scene at a dinner party where energy levels are diverging as dessert plates are cleared. Some guests yawn, considering a retreat, while others seem primed to linger into the night. As a host, you can mirror the last call technique, expressing gratitude for the shared evening and offering a gentle segue. Those who wish to leave may do so, and those keen on continuing can reconvene in the living room for post-dinner spirits. This technique allows for a natural, comfortable transition, respecting the desires of all your guests. For an enduring impact, consider how your gathering can resonate with attendees long after it concludes. As the author recounts, her father-in-law, who teaches management consulting, transforms the cliché end-of-term summary into an opportunity to impart a final, memorable message. With a simple card trick, he illustrates that mastery can seem like magic, leaving his students with a metaphor they're not likely to forget. It's in this crafting of finales, be it through a subtle transition or a surprising final act, that hosts can infuse gatherings with meaning that lingers beyond the immediate experience. By integrating such thoughtful endings, each gathering moves from being just another event to becoming a cherished memory, enriching our lives with tales and moments worth recalling. Final summary. Gatherings are more than mere meetings. They are opportunities for meaningful human connections. However, the potential of these events is frequently lost in a sea of obligation and uninspired formality. The good news is that transforming gatherings into vibrant, purposeful experiences is well within reach. By shattering the chains of routine and establishing a clear, deliberate intention for your events, be they professional meetups or intimate dinners, you can elevate the occasion from the forgettable to the exceptional. Stepping into your role as the host with a benevolent yet decisive approach can change the dynamics of an entire event, ensuring that your guests engage, enjoy, and remember the experience. Introducing thoughtful rules and embracing authentic interactions enhance connections, transforming the atmosphere of your gatherings into one of genuine engagement. Don't forget the grand finale. A meaningful closure can turn an otherwise ordinary gathering into a treasured memory that resonates with participants long after it has come to an end. In essence, it's not about hosting more gatherings, but about hosting better ones. A touch of care, creativity, and leadership can make all the difference, leading to gatherings that are not only successful but also deeply satisfying and memorable. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.